Hello everyone and welcome to Net Crypto, where you get important information and news about all coins and tokens of interest. And today we're taking a look, by popular demand, a pre-sale Blastup, right? So the reason why I'm doing this video is because I saw something alarming about this project, right? So before you buy, you need to watch this video all the way to the end, even after you've bought, so that you will know exactly when you'll get your tokens. If you do decide to buy the pre-sale, or if you've already bought, you can know exactly when you're going to be getting your tokens. So they are currently in stage 6 and they are aiming to raise around $12 million. So I got an alarm when I actually read the FAQ, especially this question, when tokens will be unlocked. So when will you get all your tokens that you have purchased in the pre-sale, right? And what I read, I actually saw that it can be up to a year, which means if a woman was to get pregnant today, the baby will be born. By the time you get your tokens, the baby will be crawling or even walking, right? So this is what they say. Pre-sale participants can transfer 25% of their purchased tokens following the token generation event, TGE. The remaining tokens will be subject to a 3-month cliff period. After that, tokens will be vested linearly over 9 months, right? So what does this mean? This is a little bit cryptic if you're not used to investment terminology. So I explained it quite simply, right, in a whiteboard, right? So TGE. So there are 3 main important things that you need to know. The first one, right, is TGE, right? That's the first thing, the TGE period. What is that? That's the token generation event. So when you buy in a pre-sale, for you to see your tokens, you need to connect your wallet and you see the tokens you have. But those are not actually your tokens. That's just a value of the tokens you purchased in the pre-sale. The tokens don't exist yet. The smart contract will still need to be created and the tokens minted, right? So when the smart contract is created and the tokens are minted, that is what is called the TGE, the token generation event. So when that occurs, you're going to be able to get 25% of your purchase token. After that, there's going to be a cliff period, right? There's going to be a cliff period, and that cliff period is 3 months. So the cliff period is the period where you don't have access to this 75%, right? So once the cliff period is ended, then the linear vesting starts. So the linear vesting is when now they start to release the tokens that you have purchased over a period of 9 months. So the 75%, you'll get it over a period of 9 months, right? So I have explained this in a clear way, right? In a way that is clear to understand, right? I made an example. So for example, let's say you buy $100 worth of tokens, right? You buy $100 worth of tokens. When will you be able to get 100% of all the tokens you have purchased? So let's ascertain or pretend, right, that 1 May is the day of the TGE, which is the launch day, right, where the token is actually minted, the token generation event. You will be able to get 25% of your purchased tokens, right? So those tokens that you get will have a value of $25 because remember, you spent $100 when you actually purchased the token. After that, there's going to be a cliff period. So that cliff period will end August 1. That's when the cliff period will end because remember, it's 3 months and you won't have access to that 75% during that cliff period. And once that cliff period, then the 9 months of linear vesting starts, which means the 75% that is left will be divided over 9 months. So every month you'll be able to claim 8.3% per month from August until April 2025, right? Every month you'll be able to claim 8.3% up until April 2025. This is if the TG event is occurring on 1 May. Right, so you can calculate the TGE event from the day that the actual TGE event occurs. Because here we've just used 1 May for the purposes of explaining exactly when you get your tokens. So by April 2025, that's when you would have 100% of your tokens, right? So to recap, There are three important things that you need to know. The TGE, right? You'll get 25%, and then there's a cliff period, 3 months, no access to your 75%, and then there's now linear vesting for 9 months, which means you'll get your 75% over 9 months. So 75 divided by 9, that's 8.3% every month. If the start date is actually 1 August, right, it would mean that from August, September, all the way to April 2025, that's when you'll be able to get all your tokens, right? So this is, I believe, important information that you needed to know, right? Like I said, a lot of people do ask, how do I support the channel and all that, right? You can drop a super thanks. You can see the button down below, or you can actually join the membership, right? And one of the things that I just wanted to also highlight is this project. I'm kind of getting the vibes of incubator, right? Because incubator is a pre-sale that has been around for almost 9-10 months now, like 8-9 months. It seems to be following through this whole thing of these long extended pre-sales, right? That these never ending pre-sales. I'm not saying it's the same people, but I'm just getting those kind of vibes. And by the way, right, if you want to wise up in crypto, especially when it comes to do with pre-sales, consider grabbing on Amazon the Big Brain Crypto Ego logbook, right? It allows you to track up to 75 pre-sales, right? It's a hardcover which is durable, and for tracking, for each and every pre-sale you track, there are 2 pages, right? There's the first page, which allows you to track pertinent information about the project, and also there's a scam or legit evaluation, my favorite section, which you can check is the team doxed, and if they are doxed, do they have LinkedIn, right? What is the pre-sale contract? Is there a pre-sale contract, right? Do they actually provide it? You can go check it out. What is the value proposition? For example, this Blastup, they are talking about launching a platform called Blast, right? Where other people will be able to launch their tokens on the platform, right? Like ICOs and stuff, right? And there's also some other stuff that I saw here, like auto rebasing. I'm not a fan of rebasing at all. A couple of years ago, there were a lot of rebasing tokens. Rebasing basically means that the developers have got the ability to change the number of tokens in your wallet, right? So let's say you purchase 100 tokens for $100. The developers can change the number to 50 tokens, but still maintaining that $100 price. It's done to kind of like manipulate the price so that the price appear to be stable, right? It's scamish in a way, but a lot of projects used it, right, as a scam to scam investors. They were not using it for the purpose that it was created to stabilize the price, but they actually scammed investors by using rebasing. So it's not very explicit whether this Blastup token will be using rebasing, or they are actually saying the projects that will launch, right, on their platform, they will have ability to use rebasing, right? And the next thing that that you can actually track, right, is the launch price tracking. So when they launch, or the TGE has happened and the tokens are now trading active on the market, you can record the date and the price movement. It's very important, right? And also investment. If you decide to actually invest, like I said, I never buy in the pre-sale. I would rather buy after the pre-sale, right? And you can record the amount, the price, how many tokens you have, and also your profit or loss, and your emotions at the time of buying or selling. And also here you can write whatever notes that you see are important, right? So, and also the second page allows you to actually jot down ego notes, right? So these are notes of, for example, this whole vesting period. These are some of the things that you can record: the TGE, the cliff, the linear, and record some very important information about that particular pre-sale. Remember, you're doing this before you even purchase the token. And by doing this, let's say 10 pre-sales, you've looked at 10 pre-sales, you would already have wised up more than majority of the investors. You'll be in the 1%, right? So a lot of people say, no, this is too expensive and whatever, right? It's just $38, right? And it's hardcover, which means durable. These days we use our computers, devices, and so on, but there is power to pen and paper. You sit, you have a cup of coffee, whatever you like to drink, and you start to jot down and seeing the information around a pre-sale, writing it down helps you to think, and you wise up against the people who scam in these pre-sales, right? The affiliate link is in the description if you want to grab a copy. So this is the information that I wanted to share with you for this one, right? Blastup, for me, it's similar to the vesting is similar to Scorpion Casino, right? A lot of investors are not happy about that because they didn't actually know when they'll get their tokens. They have a similar vesting period to Blastup. So be extremely careful, guys. If you want to buy into this, or if you have bought into it, at least you'll know when you get your tokens. If you haven't bought, really consider if it is worth it. So let me know, what do you think? So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.